Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Home Staging Talk Show Live. I'm Jenny Norris, your host, and sorry for the little bit of the delay. I had my laptop and decided to do a reboot right as I was getting ready to get things set up. So anyway, welcome. We've got a great show for you today. Again, I'm Jenny Norris, chairwoman of International Association of Home Staging Professionals, and we do this talk show to bring up great guests and talk about business growth and marketing strategies and sales and just anything having to do with life even sometimes. So today on our show, we have new president, Amy Powers, new IAHSP president. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. And we are going to go over some new announcements and so forth, stuff that we've been working on. I want her to share. Good morning.
Good morning. Let me kind of even up with you. Okay, there we go. That's much better.
Yeah. And is Jonathan, is he in? Is he coming on too?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
He's in the middle of doing something that I don't think.
Okay. Well, since our last show, a lot has been happening at the association. So has it been a month? When was your birthday?
Well, you invited me on my 50th birthday, which was June 7th. And then I think that Monday, so that was a Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. So yeah, June 12th. It's been over a month.
Just a little over. And you have been very productive. And so for people who don't know who you are, go ahead and let them know, introduce yourself and share a little bit about your background and so forth.
Well, my name is Amy Powers, and I have been in the home staging industry since 2007. I started my company in that fall. So this is like my 16th year in the industry. And let me think of things that might be interesting.
Well, you're a badass rock star in this short-term rental into space, right?
Well, yes, in 2018,
like a pioneer.
In 2018, I had the opportunity to get started in the short-term rental industry, and it was by accident. But because I was willing to say yes, thanks to Blair Hammond's advice, I took that on, and then I've become like you said, a pioneer in that industry in this as far as staging goes. And in 2022, last August, it'll be a year in August. I 100%, I like to say I got rid of my warehouse keys and started doing this full time. I haven't looked back. It's been amazing. It's been freeing. I mean, I own my time like I've never owned my time before. Working as a stager, you think when you own your own business, you own your own time, but that's not true. Whenever you have clients, they participate in that ownership.
Yeah, the demands or the less urgent things. So they really do. We do our best not to have our business run us, and so you have team members you put in place. But it's hard to escape when you have a stager has the real estate agent, maybe the seller, their team members. I mean, a lot of people relying on them. So,
right.
Yeah. And so you accepted the position of the association. And it's funny because it wasn't like I planned it to do it on your birthday, but it was just sort of serendipitous that happened.
It was.
Yeah.
I'll never forget it. I was also engaged on my birthday. My husband asked me to marry him on my birthday. And I was like, it has to be a date I'll never forget. Okay. So he picked my birthday.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, so let's talk about some of the things that you've been working on. She's been very productive, those you guys that are watching, and a lot of things that we have coming out, and we'll talk about some of our conference announcements and so forth, what that's all about. Amy's been building a great team. And so in addition to Orlando,
I'm not finished.
She's not done yet. So we have Orlando, who's been handling chapters and membership and so forth. And so he's amazing. And then Amy brought on this wonderful person. So you can see Nikki Watson's picture. We'll have her on the show as well. So she is, what did you ask her to do, Amy?
She's our vice president of IAHSP.
Yes.
Very exciting.
And for those who don't know, Nikki Watson, she's out of the Dallas area. She has a massive business, and she's also on HGTV. She actually just launched a subdivision development. She's doing custom homes in her region. She's written books. She has philanthropic things that she does. So she's very excited to be on the board and helping. Yep.
And she's in a good place too in her where she is. she has a lot to offer us
Yeah.
in our industry. She has the wisdom, the experience, the relationships even to engage so that we can provide more for our members as well.
Yes. And then who else have you brought on or talking? What are your other plans? What else are you working
Well, I'm talking to a lot of people. Robin is one of them who we'll introduce in a minute. And I won't say what she's going to do until she's on, so she can participate in that conversation. But Kevin Tane is currently our new chair of the awards, because we're having two different conferences, which I know we're going to talk about that for sure. We're going to have two different types of awards. There might be some minor overlapping, but we wanted each conference to feel unique and not like a repeat. So we are having new speakers. Even if they might be the same speaker, they're going to have a new topic. So it will be different, and it will be an opportunity for people who may not be able to travel maybe to Las Vegas, but maybe they can go to Atlanta, or vice versa. They can go to Vegas but not Atlanta. They'll have a chance to go to a conference. And we also, because we're having it in Vegas in January, I know that will be very beneficial for those who are in colder climates. I know Canada will have an opportunity to participate in that, but they will be different. So if you can do both, that's even better. That's
Right.
going to be an opportunity for you to learn even more. We have professional development plans going on. We have speed coaching opportunities that are going to be at conference that we're still developing some ideas on, but we have some amazing coaches that we have. June, obviously, who is our IAHSP coach, but we also have other coaches. I'm not going to say their names because I haven't actually told Jenny yet. So I want to make sure Jenny's okay with everything before
I'm
I
sure it's
say
fine.
publicly.
You haven't done anything yet that I'm like, woo, it's been great.
Well, I know that you know these people and that you'll be okay with it, but I still want to respect that as well.
Yeah, so the conference right now, we have what we called pre-release tickets. So they're $199. And for those of you that have been to a conference, the typical conference price is usually over $500 to attend. And so this is a pre-release special price, get you access to the event, and then there'll be some add-ons that you can participate or not participate on based on what you want to do. And that's only from now until Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. So, and then the price is going to go up. Mm-hmm. So in Las Vegas, and we are partnering with the IMC. So we're not just going to the cities, we're actually holding the events at market. So we're actually going to be in the IMC, the Las Vegas Market Center, same thing for Atlanta. So we'll be connected either, in one of the buildings or like adjacent to it. So it's going to be very easy to access. And so part of the conference is 2 days of education. We have our awards gala, which is the Ruby Red Slippers Gala. And the theme, of course, is there's no place like IAHSP, which harkens back to there's no place like home for robots. And so how'd you guys come up with that theme?
Okay, so I will say this. Jonathan Miller is behind the scenes and actively involved. I annoy him on a daily basis with ideas and concepts, and he's like yes or no, or write that down. You can't do everything at one time. We'll make this something we can do later. But yes, he is actively involved. He did our videos for the conference and a lot of the marketing pieces that we're going to be rolling out. He's definitely an asset. He calls himself the Hand of the Queen, and he's calling me the Queen. That's awesome. He's from Game of Thrones, so he's not like, he's like, I don't want a title and whatever, but I am definitely helping you. So he's very engaged. He's doing a great job. He's kind of an advisor, if you will, for me, and because I know I can't do this by myself. And that's why I said I'm still developing a team, because there are so many things that we want to do. We are all about collaboration. I'm all about thriving where you're going to grow, go where you're going to grow. We want IAHSP to be where you're going. But if it's not, you're in other associations, that's fine too. Just make sure you're growing. We are definitely going to be growing here because I'm a firm believer if you're not changing, you're not growing, and IHOSP is changing. So we're going to see some growth here. And we are really intentionally trying to engage those home stagers, the designers, and and agents that are staging too. We have some really great people that I'm seeking advice from that are in the industry just like you, who are coming to me, and I'm asking them, like, what do you need? What can we do to improve? What are things that you would like to see? And I'm working on things to develop, to put those ideas into a plan of action so that they're not just ideas lingering out there, and those wants and those needs aren't lingering out there, but we're meeting those wants and needs. And so I'm very excited about that. We have some great vendors that we're going to be bringing on that are unique, and but yet still, I was a stager for 16 years, so I know what you need pretty much. I know logistics, things that you need. I know with the short-term rental market, there's some short-term rental vendors that we're going to try and bring on, and HR vendors. That's that you may be having. So we want to provide some resources for you that is going to help grow you as a professional business owner, but also your business. So we are working really hard on that and creating positions, if you will, for our members to come and be a part of this. And I'm calling that the innovation team. IHOSP innovation team.
I like
We're
that.
not calling you volunteers, although it is volunteering, but it is more about that collaboration and being innovative and trying to connect the dots across the industry so that we feel cohesive. I know COVID has put us in a position over time where we may feel a little bit more disconnected. But now, I mean, it's still out there lingering, but it's not obsessing our lives like it has been. And we want to take advantage of that and connect those dots and bring our members together because our members are the heart of IHOS.
Very
You will
true.
see me say that a lot.
And I love the innovation team. You're the it girl, the
The
it
IT
team, right?
team, yes, the IT team, yes,
That's
that's
awesome.
exactly right. You've been
Um,
reading my emails.
yeah, yes, yes. And so before I bring on Robin, I want to just give one plug here. So our
Yes,
master's course, which is happening in London, early bird tickets or the early, we're going to get rid of that word because early bird is like old people's
pre-release.
we're going to pre-release tickets. So that ends July 31st. If you're thinking of coming, you can do a 50% payment. Just let us know you're going to be there, but don't wait because the prices are going to go up. And so we will be in London teaching November 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, or 3rd, 4th, 5th. I have to look at the dates. I should know this. I'm gonna look at my phone. I think it's
It's
the 3rd,
okay.
4th, 5th,
You have a
but it
lot
is.
going on.
Yeah, it
November
is.
3rd through 5. 3 through 5.
Yeah, 3rd through the 5th. And so the HSA UK forum is on the 2nd. So you do have to attend that to attend the masters, but their price, I have to check with Paloma because I think they haven't released everything yet, but it's it's going to be less than $200. I think it's like 150 to maybe 200 tops. That's very reasonable for a one-day event, and they have a lot of really great speakers. And then that time that you put into the forum, all the topics you're learning will be applied to the masters, because masters is normally 4 full days. So we scaled it back to 3, keep it more affordable, and it's going to be a lot of fun. And then from the masters course, we'll hit Italy, Spain, and Poland with education events that they're holding in November, and be able to help support the growth of staging over in Europe, which is really, really important. So I'm excited to be going there.
There
Sandra Holmes will be
is.
joining me at the Masters, same with Blair Hamady, and then their time allotted, they will go to other events as they can. I think Sandra's planning to go to Madrid for sure, and I just got to figure out what Blair's commitment can be. But it's the first time we've done a live class in Europe like this, and so hopefully people will take advantage of it, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So with that, let's bring Robin in. So
Yes,
Robin, it should give you a countdown before it adds you to the. There you are. Good morning.
she's
So,
ready.
oh, hang on, you're muted. Just a moment. Okay, now hello. Hello, can you say something with you?
She might have to unmute herself on that side.
Oh yeah, you might have muted yourself. You look great. Love the turquoise and the brown combination.
I do.
So, yeah, so I had muted you on my end, but you are unmuted on. So did you mute yourself on your end, Robin? Do you want to come out and then come back in? I love technology. Live shows.
I know. It's like what happened to you right before your computer decides to update.
I know. Well, it didn't help that I had my alarm set. I've had just long days. We've had horrible storms here. I mean, it was like lightning was like right over our house. They struck out in the street. I mean, it was like, and the house was like shaking 2 nights ago. So we didn't get a lot of sleep. Anyway, my alarm was set for 8:15 p.m. this morning instead of a.m. So thankfully somebody called me at 9. I was like, what? So Robin, maybe go out, come back in, and maybe it'll reset itself. Oh, hang on. There you go. Are you, because your mic was muted again. So I'm gonna click you out and then click on the link and come back in, and hopefully this sound, because when you first came in, I thought I could hear you. So I'll do this and then come back in. Okay, she's gonna come back in. All right. So very exciting. So Robin and Amy, and kind of give a preface. So on the IAHSP site, if you haven't been there lately and checked out all the new things that we have, one of the things that we are doing is offering people who create courses the ability to put their course up on her video is not working up on the Hive, which is the, it's like a beehive. So you can make some honey, and it's a collaboration, because if you look at the nature of bees, they have to work together in order to succeed and so forth. So
and there's different kinds. They have different roles.
Yep.
So they're not all doing the same thing. That's important.
Yeah. Each one contributes. And I teach that to the team too, because sometimes the stagers are out in the field and they get to do the fun creative stuff. There's ones that have to do the work in the warehouse, putting stuff away. And sometimes they'll feel like they're, they're doing the grunt work or whatever, and they don't get to do the fun stuff. And I'm like, everybody touches the project. Everybody's important. If you don't do your role, they can't do their role. And so nobody's more important than anybody else, but each person has a specific task they need to complete in order to make the successful the thing happen as a whole to be successful. So our association is the same way. And when it comes to the courses, if you have a class that you have developed and you would like to make money off of it, we are pushing out the courses and marketing and helping get some income for some of our industry pros who have a lot of great things to share. And then we just launched a book library on our site as well. So my latest book is the True Confessions of a Stagerpreneur, 25 Reflections, Remembrances, and Revelations of a Pro Home Stager. And that's available on Amazon. And I know, Amy, you just came out with the book.
I'm going to grab it. Hold on a second.
All right. I know I got to get mine. I have to get mine printed.
My book just came out. If you've taken my short-term rental class, you may want to check it out, because I actually don't talk about this in my class yet, but obviously I will now. But it's Eco-Friendly Design, Sustainable Practice for Environmentally Conscious Short-Term Rentals.
I love it.
It's on Amazon. It is Kindle. It can be Kindle or hardback right now. I know that's not super eco-friendly, but I have to edit the softback, and it'll be published probably by the end of the weekend, by the end of the weekend for sure.
And then this is the cover of my book that came out. It's I think I released it in July or whatever. So anyhow, it's basically sort of things I wish I would have known before getting into the business, things I've learned along the way that I want other people to know, that if you experience that, you're not alone, and just things that you can avoid in your journey, because I've been doing this 21 years, and those of us like Amy and other long timers in the industry, we are kind of like the pioneers, laid the groundwork, learned a lot of things about what not to do, and then of course the industry has evolved past where a lot of us started, thankfully. And so we want to make sure that we are still timely with what we're doing, on trend, raising the bar in our staging and so forth. But hopefully the book makes people laugh. I tell a lot of stories in there about clients, things that you have to see it to believe it. And I think just when I think I've experienced everything. So Robin, your your camera is not showing you in the stream here. So I am not sure how to fix that. It's like your setting is not allowing you to come in. I was ready to share, Robin. You don't want to share your screen because then we would see everything. So let's see here. Where are you? We love live shows. Well, it teaches you to think faster on your feet. There's been times I've had to do filler content and I'm like, what am I going to say? But, those people that know us know that we have no problem talking. Finding lots of
I
things
have
to
no
talk
problem
about.
talking. I can.
Just when I think I've experienced it all, those you saw my post yesterday. So we're just at stage 3 model houses in a new build community. And one of them, they found a dead person in, and I don't know the story behind it. It's been very hot here, so maybe it was like heat exhaustion. I don't know if it was nefarious at all, but anyhow, the client writes and he's like, I don't think we can stage 2 out of the 3, and we'll have to finish that third one another time. And then I sent that to my team, and they're like, if somebody died in there, there's gonna be a ghost. Miss Jenny, my driver, he's from the South, and so Robin, I'm gonna close you out one more time and see if we can get this to work. So I'm going to exit out and then just click that link.
Offer the ghost a gift.
Yes. And we've actually staged.
You can also sage it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and we've actually staged, at least 2 properties that I remember of that were kind of haunted. Things happened in there that were just sort of like white, like footsteps. Where there is one where we always take the key out, and we put it in the door when we open it up, and just to not lose it, either it goes on the kitchen counter or stays in the door.
Right.
The driver left it in the door. That key vanished. I mean, we looked everywhere for it. And besides that, the team heard footsteps, doors slamming, and there was nobody there. There was just them.
Wow.
And so it was just sort of interesting. But I don't think that's going to happen at this house. But we'll be friendly if they are. But talk about the course that So Amy just taught. The first time you came up with your short-term rental course, it was just short-term rental, and then now it's evolved into short-term, mid-term, and vacation rental. And can you just briefly?
Well, vacation rental and short-term rental are the same.
Okay.
They're just different expressions. A lot of people also will call it Airbnb design. Airbnb is a brand for a company. It's not, the general industry name.
Like
so it is important to understand that right there.
So that's kind of people use it generically, just like they say, like Google it, or the word Kleenex. Yes. Get a Kleenex. Yeah. So not every tissue is made by Kleenex. That's a brand. Yes. Actually, so Airbnb is a brand, and so it's short-term rental, but not every short-term rental. I mean, if they're doing it, there's a short-term rental, and then there's the vacation rental experience where I feel like you guys kick it up a notch, especially if it's like in a beach community or someplace where it's a resort area. The staging that goes into that, the design, I should say, is it's going to be more not theme related, but I think it's going to cater more towards that region because that's why they're going there.
Right? And it can be theme related. So short-term rental versus mid-term rental. Short-term rental is 30 days or less, right? That's the short term. And mid-term rental is 30 days or 31 days or more, but less than a year typically, or right at a year. It's the benefit of midterm rental. A lot of people have been shifting to midterm rental, the owners that I work with, because it is something where they feel can help them with the economy shifting with inflation and whatnot. So that's why I added that, because it's been a trend. I've seen it in my clients and so forth. So I wanted to make sure I was covering that. There are small differences, not huge differences. One of the benefits of midterm over short term, though, is if I know in Atlanta, we have some rules that you have to own a property in Atlanta. You have to live there, rather, in Atlanta. And you can only that can be Airbnb, like a room or a basement or your garage house or something. And then you can only have one other short-term rental, but you have to live in Atlanta, which is the major rule. So a midterm rental will actually kind of help bypass that. And the midterm rental, the rules that you have for short-term that you have.
And midterm could be somebody who's taken an extended, like a hiatus or vacation or what have you, but it's also for people like the medical profession, traveling nurses or doctors, where they don't stay in one place, but it's nice to have. They don't have to be in a hotel. They can be in a home, but it's not this big long rental period where they have to do like 6 months to a year. So I think that flexibility,
they're not tied down to a lease.
Yeah, exactly.
And another demographic that can benefit for too is college students. college is not always a year long. I mean, if you're taking summer classes, that's an exception, but a lot of students don't take summer classes. So they can do a midterm rental for a semester, then maybe do it for another semester. And that way they have a steady place to stay, and but they're not tied down to a lease. So
when you first developed your course, it was an hour and a half long. The first webinar she
it was
did,
two and a half hours.
2 hours. And came with handouts and so forth. And so one of the things that makes Amy's course and her commitment to the industry different is that every time she learns something, she puts it into so she can teach and help other people know what she's learned. And her course is the only one that's being taught by somebody who's actually active in the field of the short-term, mid-term rental, vacation rental industry. And
that I'm aware of.
Yeah, that you're aware of, yes. And so this latest webinar, she just taught it on the 12th, and it was over 5 hours because I'm trying to get that.
It was right at 5. It was right at 5, and then we ended up chit-chatting for an extra, like, literally an hour and 45 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
And I was like, I never do this. I'm like, when my class is over, I'm usually, and I offered that, but they were like, we have more questions. And we just had a really good time. My class is I like conversation. I like engaging. I like answering your questions. And I try to be as thorough as possible. I literally communicate the things that I have learned, like Jenny said, and I'm adding them. So it started out 2.5 hours, right? I think I did one, 3.5 hours was the next up. And then now it's at 5 hours because I wanted to make sure that they were learning the midterm, but I'm also teaching design files, how to use that. I'm teaching how to market and brand yourself as a short-term rental designer, how to get those clients. So it's every aspect that you can imagine, logistics and so forth. And, again, as I learn it, I'm going to keep increasing it. So, I mean, it could be 6 hours by the end of the year.
It could be like that's also, and you've also just got the course, a version of this topic approved in the state of Georgia to teach for continuing education. So as a course developer, so anybody can create a course. There's no rule that says you can or can't. So if you have some topic that you're passionate about and you're like, I really want to share this with other people, you can create a class around it. It could be an hour, it could be half a day, it could be, a day or whatever it is. And if it's something that is targeting, for example, the real estate industry, then you can also get continuing education credits approved at the state level. And some states are much easier to do than others. And it's, it is a process that they scrutinize. They don't just take any class. They want to make sure that it's beneficial to their members and so forth.
They have criteria. Yeah. And you typically also have to go through and I know for Georgia, you have to be connected to a real estate school. So I'm connected to a real estate school, and my class for that is 4 hours, and it only talks about stage design rather a little bit. It actually is very thorough. I mean, I'm in the staging industry, but I'm also in the short-term rental industry. So I'm engaging with people that are well versed in very specific things with short-term rental. So that also is a benefit for, like, financing's different. The tax benefits for people to have a short-term rental is amazing, especially if you're a doctor, a lawyer, or some kind of professional like ourselves who are independent. It can relieve a lot of tax burden right there. And then insurance and things like that. I talk about that. I had it approved in the state of Georgia, the first one on the topic, though, nationwide again. And it is for agents who are working with buyers that are very specifically trying to get started in the short-term rental industry. And that is the catch, because we're educating the agents. It's about the agent's education. Right. So I made it very thorough, as thorough as possible. But I also didn't make it as thorough because it just,
right. You don't want to because you don't want them we don't want that. I mean, there will always be agents and people that they try to do everything. They're going to stage, they're going to, do the landscaping, whatever. And that's to me, that's a poor use of their time, but that's their choice. We're not teaching the agents to be designers, but they are working with clients. And in fact, in Denver, there's ordinances that you can't have short-term rentals. Yeah. They locked it down. And So here's an example of an agent that didn't do their homework properly because they sold a property and probably work with these buyers from out of state who bought a property in Denver, furnished it, only to find out that they were not allowed to have a short-term rental. And then they were starting to contact staging companies to purchase the items that they had put in these properties because
But all they had to do was shift it to midterm rental. Honestly,
right,
that's
and
all
this
they
was,
had to do.
and that was, and I wish I would
And
have
they
known
would have
that this
made
was.
more money probably.
Yeah, they probably would have. And it was this was probably like 4 or 5 months ago. But anyway, but that's knowing that would have been a great tip to tell them. But it's also the agents, and we can see you, Robin. Hopefully this is going to work. All right. Hello. Are you there? Say something.
Oh,
Can I hear you? No, we can't hear you. Okay, so maybe, you know what, Robin, maybe get your phone. Try to do it on stay here with the camera, but get your phone out and see if maybe you can connect through your mobile and the audio might work that way.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, each, like Breckenridge, we had a family cabin there. We would do the Airbnb on it. And we were outside of the city limits. And so we were in the county zones. We did not have to pander to the city requirements and their taxes and so forth on licensing. So, but there's a lot of things that people need to know about. And so that class teaching these real estate agents what they need to know in order to properly advise their clients is really what it's all about. The types of properties they should look for, location, I'm sure it is something you talk about too. Like, you might find a really great deal in a property, but if it's in a crappy location, I'm not going to go stay there and pay money. You know what I mean? That the location matters.
Well, I do kind of talk about that, but how I talk about it is I give them the resources to find comps. Like there's several platforms too that I talk about, AirDNA and alltherooms.com. Those are platforms where if you're looking for a short-term rental, or even if you're working on one as a designer, you can look at the competition and see what's in the area as an active short-term rental, or I think even a midterm rental now, and see how much their nightly rate is and how much they're occupied. So you have the comps. And so you can look at them. And as a designer, I try to do that so I can be competitive. Like whatever I'm designing, I'm going to try and make it more unique and cool.
Yeah.
If you will.
Right. Which is smart because you want your property to be the chosen one. Okay, so let's see. All right, Robin. Let's see here. Okay. Says you're ready to join the broadcast. You are here, but it's on your phone. Okay, here we go. Okay, Robin, it's doing the countdown, so I might. All right, can you hear us? The screen is just black. What is the problem? Ready to join your broadcast.
Unless if she's just doing audio, the screen should be about probably.
I'm sorry, you guys, because I really wanted to have her share today too. I know she's probably frustrated. Okay, let's see. Hide. And did you check your microphone settings and so forth, Robin, on your computer or your phone?
I'm sure she's probably done that 100 times.
I know. Pushing buttons.
I know I would be.
I know. Well, this is Robin Decapua, who's on the right hand. She has a very fabulous, successful business in Los Angeles, Madison Modern Home. I know I'm saying it wrong. And she has a course as well. So she did one on PR. And so if we can't get the audio working today, then I
have an idea.
Okay.
Should I call her on my phone?
Yeah, actually, that would be a good idea. Yes.
So, Robin, I'm going to do that.
Okay.
Because I know I have your number.
It's actually a great idea.
It's 818, right? Is your.
Okay. So she's slow. And so her class.
Yes, I heard that. Okay, good. Through space and time.
Yes, exactly.
There we go. Can you hear her?
Hi, Amy.
There we go.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
We win today.
Oh man. I'm hitting that, unmute button over and over, and now I've got a nice echo.
So turn yours off. Oh wait.
If you turn your computer audio off, let me do this.
Got it. Okay, did that work?
Just turn your volume down on your side.
Okay.
It's like an echo. Infinity Amy.
Okay.
There we go. That
That's
worked.
good.
Okay.
Now we got it.
There we go.
Yes.
We're good.
Problem
Awesome.
solving. Girl power. See, it takes collaboration to
That's
solve
right.
problems. And that's what my point is today. Thank you for modeling that, Robin.
We
I
did this
know
on
that was
purpose
the
to
purpose
demonstrate.
of this.
Yeah.
So
Wait,
thank you
this was
for
actually planned just to show you how you guys, if you're doing a live show, those of you that like to do video, you just got to kind of go with it and how you problem solve. And it's, so I probably could have tried to call her with my phone, but it would have been hard. So having that third person, you being able to do that is awesome. So Robin, let people know who you are for those who don't know who you are. Introduce yourself.
Sure. Okay. Hi. Finally happy to join you guys. My name is Robin Decapua, and I'm the owner of Madison Modern Home. We're a home staging company located in Los Angeles. We've been doing this for about 12 years, and I work with my family, so I'm super lucky. My daughter and son-in-law are my business partners, and we stage mostly vacant listings. We do about 100 homes per year on average, and they are, generally speaking, these days, bigger and bigger homes. So we are filling these, larger spaces with everything.
Yeah.
And we specialize in kind of a curated style where we really approach it kind of more like an interior designer would, in that we very carefully choose every piece of decor and art, and there are 2 designers who are on site for each job. So we're a little bit different. We're very design forward. I always say we put our design foot first, and that's how I like to approach it. My daughter, Rachel, who's my co-designer, has a degree in interior design. So we have the ability to also do interior design and styling on the side, and she handles all of that. So we are a full-service business, and we service a very, very vibrant and robust market in Los Angeles. Well, it is just one of the most active, real estate environments one can find in the world, literally.
Absolutely. Right now. Clients are so diverse too. And I can vouch. I follow Robin. I absolutely love seeing her work. It's one of the cleanest, purest examples of how staging well can make a huge impact.
Well, it's even
you're so welcome.
Styling. I mean, and I too. I'm sort of a stalker fan as well. I mean, I always love looking at your pictures. I actually use
I stalk people all the time.
Well, and it's also because it's like I find sort of like the design aesthetic starts on the West Coast and it moves east. And so you guys, a lot of times you're doing things long before they reach like Denver, for example.
Atlanta.
Yeah, seriously. It's a lot of like the mid-mod things,
But there's a lot going on in all the markets that's really exciting now, design-wise. I'm not even seeing that much difference. If you're in a major metropolitan area or you're near one, these design influences are touching your market as well. And if they're not right now, they will be soon. So I think staying on top of trends is super important, because no matter where you live, if you're interested in design, you're following design influencers, and you're seeing this stuff, and it's starting to pop up even in major retail, big box stores.
And I have to say that
it's really
the color
in the world.
The color of the year when it came out, that muddy red, and then Sherwin-Williams and boy, they both came, and so I'm thinking like.
Like Reddit or something like that.
I don't want to buy a bunch of stuff and think. And then I look at, and I used her pictures, and I gave her credit at the thing. And I let you know at the conference, I pulled a couple of her pictures showing the use of that color in a staging project, and it looked fabulous. And so,
it is very
that inspired me to not just be like, I'm not using that color. It's like you can incorporate,
and Scandinavian. I actually wrote a blog about it. There's
a lot more color going on lately.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. And
Yeah, and
just the
I
style of furniture, kind of the more the mid-mod kind of look that has, we had a lot of chrome and glam stuff that we had invested in. And right now that is not as popular for where we are. And so I've had to, artwork and decor and the accent pieces, those things are constantly having to, be updated because you do want to stay on trend. And even the area rugs, all that stuff.
Yeah, and that stuff is easier and less expensive to update. You don't have to update everything. You don't have to go out and buy a bunch of new furniture. Just do it with the smaller pieces.
Yeah, like accent pillows, throws. You can bring the colors in that are on trend. You're not making a huge investment. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Well, so your courses. So I kind of wanted to kind of circle back to that. So let's talk about your PR course, and it is an audio course. So on the IAHSP site, we have on-demand courses that are webinar based. Then we also have on-demand audio. And so Robin's course is actually an audio course. Let's talk about how you came up with that and what the feedback has been for the audience watching.
Yeah, so it was all kind of born out of a Facebook post that I did on a media mention that we got. My name and my company's name were mentioned in an article. So we were like the expert opinion on a particular design issue. I don't remember the media source or what it was exactly. And I posted this because I'm like, oh wow, this is so cool. We're mentioned in this, because every design magazine and site has, they post their stuff as a Facebook post, right? So you see when Apartment Therapy has a new article, they put it on their Facebook page, right? So you see it. And so our company name and my name were in there. And I said, this is so cool. And then a lot of people commented. A lot of stagers said, wow, that's cool. How'd you do that? Like, what'd you do? How did you get that? And I thought, well, this is bigger than just a Facebook comment. I could say, well, there's a method that I used and I could tell you about it. But then I realized this is actually a course. This is enough information to fill, like a 30-minute course. And I really wanted to go into more depth on it. So that was when I noticed that IAHSP had this platform, the Hive Pro. And I noticed, it could be audio. I think I'm really comfortable with that idea of just, presenting this material because it's not like highly visual material. It's more nitty gritty, like you need to do this, you need to do that. And I thought, okay, it's 5 easy steps and you can improve your SEO and you can get your name and your company name out there mentioned in massive magazines like Real Simple. We've been a Real Simple, Apartment Therapy, Realtor.com a lot of times, Bustle, Mike, a lot of these kind of design related sites that just have a lot of people that want to find out, what's trending on Amazon right now and stuff like that. Those kind of articles that are, the top 10 things that designers love from Wayfair, and then that kind of stuff. So I developed the course and I decided to make it affordable, and it's $39.95 and it's available right now on IAHSP, and it's kind of an easy thing. You can just kind of plug it in like a podcast if you want to listen to it on your way to or from staging. I know we're all busy. We're in our cars a lot, and it's a 30-minute car ride to your staging job. Let's find out. You might want to go back and listen to it because there are a few things you may want to take notes on. But I just realized there were tips and tricks that I could give people.
Yes.
And give them some resources.
Well,
it's been great. And my students are like already telling me when they have success stories.
Yeah, there was that one that she got some.
Hey, I followed your thing, and now I got these mentions. So yeah, it works. If you, like everything, it works if you do it. There's some work involved, and you have to set aside a little bit of time, but
it pays for itself. It'll pay for itself.
Yeah, because anytime someone Googles your company or your name,
Mm-hmm.
they will see all this stuff. It
Yes.
pops up, and you will just basically be, all over that Google search, and that's what you want.
And there's
oh, sorry.
I was going to say, there's some articles that you can, like the realtor.com, you can actually submit articles like Inman, RS Media, realtor.com for their publications. And they're always looking for, even our blogs, people will submit articles to be on, would publish them to the blogs, which is a way for somebody who writes something to get published. And then from that, the organic. So when you were in Real Simple, that was an organic result of you being positioned as an expert because of the work that you've been doing, that then you're getting sought after. You're not the one soliciting to put an article in. You're being sought after, and that's that organic PR that you're looking for. That you've been very successful in doing. So, yeah,
exactly. And you develop contacts, and you have these people's emails, so you can stay in touch.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's always who you know for sure. Well, and so on the Hive, there's the audio courses. So there's about 4 or 5 audio. We also have a podcast section. So if you have a podcast that you want us to have on there, and it's this is it's public information as well for members. We don't charge people to look at the podcast. We just have sort of gathered a bunch of podcasts that relate to our industry, business, or things people might be interested in. So you can just go there to the site. There's so much information on there. And then Amy's course is on the on-demand side, her short-term rental course. And that one we are working on updating that video.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it
today. It takes like 3 hours to upload a 5-hour PowerPoint live video.
And there's there's actually a designation course. So it's not just a webinar. You actually are earning an industry designation, the STRS, and then along with. So I pulled this up so I can show these graphics in here. So along with these courses, this is one of the shows. So it shows this is a business productivity, real estate training, a real estate half day. This is the this is staging course. This is a staging course, assistant course. This is for buyer trends, cultural diversity.
So talk about the assistant course, because that's an important one.
Yeah. So that one was, we had, people that own businesses, they wanted to have their people trained, and they were sending them, a lot of them, to the 3-day, the full staging courses. And then what would happen is, because at least in our class, we go over everything, like how big your business can be, the pricing, how much you can earn. And so these people that were being sent to the classes by the company owners were like,
started their own
like, I could make more money. And so they would stick around, and then they would leave and start a competing company. So we're like, how can we prevent this? So our assistant course is 2 days. We don't go into any of the business setup, the pricing, the money side, because they're not doing that. They just want to plug into an existing company. But at least they know the foundation. They know what they're supposed to be doing. What's the purpose of staging? And in the real estate side of things. So that class is, it's 2 days. And then we have the communication and consultation specialist course of people who didn't really get a foundation on how to prepare consultations and so forth. And how do you say things without offending people? Like, your house stinks, you wouldn't say that. It's like, I'm detecting the aroma of, things like that. And then this one is the how to create a business plan. There's the investor staging designation, luxury staging. There's a pre-listing consultation specialist. So that's another consultation course that's being taught. The pricing mystery to mastery, and then the productivity crash course, and then the senior staging designation that June Carter actually developed that one. So lots of education, and there's room for a lot more. And then the audio side, we have Robin's podcast. There's a couple of others that are more like marketing, maybe 10 different sessions under a marketing topic and so forth. But, go check it out. Go to the Hive and check out what's on there. And so it's a great resource for us. And we just want to continue to build that, because as Amy shared earlier, we are working to make the association, a community. And the whole goal of the association is to support business growth. We've had different slogans through the years. So one of them is like your business support association, your home in the home staging industry, and a global force for home staging. So I've come up with these different things because that's really what it's to support the industry as a whole. And one of the things that are you going to talk about what you're asking Robin to do?
Yes.
I don't even know. Okay, let's hear it, because I don't even know.
I haven't told you, but But actually, I did tell you. It's in that very long, detailed email I sent you.
Oh yeah, okay, yes. I was probably at the beach though, so
So, because Robin clearly has a talent and skill, and I've also talked with her in more detail. She has 30 years background in PR, branding, marketing. So this is like her forte. So if you're listening to her and you're tuning into her audio course, you're getting a true expert. You're not getting someone who just happens upon something and it works and they're like, "Oh, well, let me tell you about it." It's 30 years, 3 decades of experiences behind that. And honestly, $39.99 is a good deal for 30 years of experience behind that. So that's a very good deal. But
Thank you.
you're welcome.
I think
So
maybe you could develop I think maybe you have like an actual course where it's more in depth for the people. Because I will say, and I'll let you finish in a second, the marketing side of things, that's where you make it or break it. And that's my passion is the marketing, but the PR, the branding, you won't have any presence at all if you don't know how to get the exposure. And so many stagers struggle with that. And so some of the stuff that's like probably really second nature to you, you think, well, you just do this. They're like, I have no idea what that means. And so even expanding that foundation. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
So
that's an idea for a new course.
For sure. Like you definitely have more courses in you for sure. But because of that knowledge, I am very in tune to listening and hearing and thinking and processing. I'm a visionary. And I know as a visionary, I know I can't do it by myself. I need people around me. I need the containers around me to put it into practice as I'm an expander. So Robin, I felt like I saw her, she has a Facebook group page too for you to share your successes. What's the name of that page, Robin?
It's the Home Staging Media Superstars Facebook group, and it's currently a public group, and anyone who wants to get involved in getting their name out there more is welcome to join.
So that's another resource that Robin is offering, and paying attention to that, knowing about her course that she offered on Hive Pro, and then also having that one-on-one conversation with Robin, I knew for sure that she needed to be part of the team. So she's going to be an advisor for me and for IAHSP for branding, because we're probably going to be doing some rebranding, some refreshing and things like that. And also with content creation, things like that. So it's an opportunity to take advantage in a very positive way to mutually benefit, because that's also benefit you too, Robin, because you'll get credit for that and it'll be out there as well. So
I'm looking forward to it.
Yes. And I
would say that, it's having people that have more experience in certain areas is important. There's nobody that knows everything. And you may not remember that you said this, this is a few years ago. We had graphics we were putting out for IAHSP. And so I think you put it in either a post or you messaged me and you were like, you said, whoever's doing your graphics should be shot. And
it was probably Jenny, wasn't it? It was you.
It was like, so when somebody, and you weren't mean about it. You weren't saying it like to be mean, but it made me really kind of take a step back. And this was before Canva.
It's okay. She's okay. She can handle it. You're not the first person to tell her.
No, but the reason I said it, because it didn't, because when somebody who has more expertise than you do says something, you can either get upset or you can go like, well, screw you. But then I'm thinking like, okay, let's take a look at what it is, because doing graphics and stuff, I would use more sort of like animation or cartoons or whatever. And it wasn't professional. When you look back, you're thinking like, we can do better. And so Canva, I think it just sort of started, but being able to use that platform helps to make things more professional and not so. I tend to add a lot into something. I'm like, okay, I have space for one more thing, and creating that white space, So I appreciated you sharing that, because I didn't look at it like, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. It's like, okay, she's got this background. Maybe we need to take a step back and take a look at things that are being put out there. And so I wanted to say thank you for sharing that. And anybody watching, when somebody gives you advice or tips, the first reaction, don't be like, I can't believe this. It's like, well, let's take a step back. They're not doing it to be mean. They're doing it to be helpful. There's a big difference. So
most of the time. Most of the time.
Yeah,
most
that
of the
was
time.
my intent. Absolutely.
And that's how I took it. I didn't take offense to it. I thought it was, but it was, what I appreciated is that you were honest. You didn't, you know what I mean? And I'm like that too. Like, you're going to.
She did threaten violence, though. We got to work on that, right?
Oh, yeah. I think I said whoever's doing your graphics should be fired.
Oh, that's what it was. Yes. No, I'm not shot.
Okay,
yeah.
that's not violent.
Fired. That's true. That actually. So erase what I said before. That's exactly what you said. She was fired.
Good. That's good.
But the message was that they should be. They should be better graphics and evolve. The stuff that we've had with the logo we've had since 2018. And, we really updated back then. And so maybe it's, time to, you don't want to get stuck in the past, keep things fresh, the colors, the fonts and so forth, and update the brand.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm here for it. Yeah. Good.
That's exciting.
I've already sent Jenny a few things. I haven't heard back from her, so I'm assuming that she either hasn't seen them or she didn't like them.
I haven't seen them.
Or we'll talk about it later.
I haven't honestly, probably because we were gone last week, and anyway, that was interesting. And our daughter had her baby a month early, so that was unexpected. So actually tomorrow we're going to help organize her nursery because she can't even get her little rocking chair thing in there because it's, she has all her clothes still in there, and so we're going to help her organize. But anyway, but I will take a look at those.
Yes, thank you.
Sure. So we're excited to have you on the team. Yes, good. Yeah, so we are very excited, and then we're coming. Vegas Market is at the end of this month, and so I'm going to be there along with people. I know, Robin, you're planning on being there. If you are planning on going to the market, I'd like to set up maybe a meetup time. Maybe we can I'll meet in a particular showroom or something, and just say hello, have a drink or a little bite to eat or something. And because I have missed what Amy said in the very beginning with COVID, it really did isolate everybody. And I think we were the first live event to come back in 2021 in Denver. And, the attendance wasn't our normal attendance, but at least it was the first. Let's get back out there. So the market also suffered, people weren't coming. So I feel like this, people are finally getting back out there. And I just miss hugging people and being able to see everybody and, see people face to face versus just through a screen or on the phone. So if you're going to market, Amy will be at the Atlanta one. And when is that one happening? Is that fall for Atlanta?
The Atlanta market's actually in July too. I was actually looking up the dates because I thought it was.
And then High Point will be in October. We'll have people there as well.
Next week.
So if you're planning to go to markets, let us know. We will be doing the tours after the conference to our key vendors. We'll be taking people into their showrooms. We'll teach you how to shop, read tags. Because we're a buying group, we get special pricing. So that's we've negotiated. So all of that will be part of the experience. But going to market is, if you've never been, it can be very overwhelming. So having somebody kind of coach you through it is important.
Absolutely.
Anyway, yeah.
So important things for our members to walk away with today is collaboration's key. We're changing, we're growing, we're evolving. IAHSP we're dedicated to meeting your needs. If you can join the private IAHSP group, that's where I post a lot of stuff. And you'll also will get blogs from me and things like that from Jenny and I both. And we want you to feel like your voice is being heard. So if you need to say something, I have an appointment app that I use to set up appointments. I have it so that it's the president's call. You can message me. You can email me at amy.powers@ihosp.com. I will send you the link and you can connect with me. If you want to be on the innovation team, let me know. We have a plethora of opportunities for people to be involved in some capacity. Your schedule may not allow you to be a full-time volunteer or even a part-time volunteer, but maybe one night a week or once a month you can commit to something. Anything is better than nothing, and we want you to feel like you're a part of it. So I am personally inviting you to participate. and we want new faces and fresh faces. We are not. I reached out to was so excited that I reached out to them because they wanted to be involved, but they had just seen other people stepping up that were this kind of the same faces. And I said, the irony there is that those people are stepping up because no one else is. But we want you to step up. So that's not an excuse. We want fresh faces.
We need them. Because
right.
we talked about one of the initiatives that is on the table is the leadership, cultivating new leaders in the industry. Because I'm older. I started this 21 years ago, and I don't want to be doing this when I'm in my twilight years. So we have to be able to pass the industry along to other leaders who are being cultivated, so it continues to grow forward. And that won't happen if somebody has a tight grip on what they're doing and they're not willing to release and delegate and share. And so I'm like, let's identify the leaders that are up and coming, that want to be involved, help them get that foundation and experience that they need so that we can pass the baton when the time's right to do that. That's the whole goal.
And to be a leader, you don't have to be a seasoned stager. It doesn't matter how long you've been in the industry. It doesn't matter how old you are. A leader is someone who is willing to be an influencer and to help guide other people along their journey with you and so forth. So don't feel like there's any special criteria. There are things that I am looking for, but those things I believe are also developmental. Like, we can develop skills. So there's no limit to the potential of being involved, and we are excited. And I hope my charismatic personality extends and reaches through the electronic vibes, and you are attached to it, and you understand how excited that I am that you could possibly be involved in IAHSP. So please contact me, amy.powers@ihosp.com.
IAHSP.com. And
IAHSP.
if you look, and I love, the theme, you already have your red shoes. I don't know if I could put those stilettos on, but
Jonathan sent them to me, but
do you have,
I can put my feet in them, but I will not be walking in them. My red slippers are going to be like literally house slippers. They sell them on Amazon.
That's like more my speed. Well, yes. And education, the reason we do conferences is not only to, gather our colleagues together. And, to me, I always think it's like a celebration of the industry. We have awards. The awards gala is very important to recognize excellence in the industry. Education, no matter how long we've been in the industry, there's always new things that we're learning. And so people who are choosing not to advance it and to learn, you're sort of stuck. It's almost like a marketing brand. If you don't ever advance and change it, then you start looking older and dated. You're not advancing with the industry and the new trends and so forth. So the topics are creative related, they're business related, they're going to be mindset, motivation, all of them together. And of course, we'll have fun, and we're going to have food. So those of you that were wondering,
yes,
Amy and Jonathan beat me up over that one, and I finally
Jonathan and Amy.
We've always in the
we
dinner.
We did not violently attack you at all.
Yeah, no.
They stress the value of having well-fed, content.
Yes. The importance of having meals. And so we'll have breakfast for both days. We have lunches for both days. We have dinner for one of the nights, the big gala. So that will be reflected.
And the reason we're not doing it for 2 nights is you may want to go out and those connections that you make, you may want to go out to dinner with people and have those one-on-ones that you wouldn't normally be able to have. So we're leaving that open for you guys to explore relationships. And honestly, to me, that is what helps me grow the most, is connecting with people, hearing their stories, and then learning from them has been a huge influence. And my business, like I said, I've been doing it for 16 years. I have grown the most after going to conference and putting at least one thing into practice. So, and that's the challenge. You don't have to do everything, but take some kind of nugget and use it, and it will make the difference in your business.
Yeah, conferences are a great place just to make new friends too.
Absolutely.
I mean, you meet lifelong friends there.
Yes.
Absolutely. And then also, we haven't done our call for speakers yet. If there's a topic that, we'll put out topic ideas that we're looking for, and Amy and Jonathan have already brainstormed all of the things that relates back to the themes. We have this whole list. And so if you see that and you're like, oh, I love that topic, I could speak on that, make sure to submit, because, we do want to have some new faces teaching, and then, it'll be really, really, it'll be beneficial.
And if you don't find a topic, but you're passionate about something, all you have to do is have a Wizard of Oz theme title, and then just turn it in.
Yeah. And then so that the $199 ticket price right now, this pre-release ticket price, that's a really good deal, because that won't even really cover your food from the expense side. So it is definitely a pre-release special price, and again, for short term,
it will cover their food. It might not cover your cost.
That's true. You'll be able to eat with that ticket. But I'm just saying that the cost. Yeah, let's rephrase that. The cost to have meals, because it's always the food plus the tax and gratuity. Yeah, so it's it's below the cost. But we're doing this to just really kind of kick it off, get some excitement, and then help out people that.
It's our 25th anniversary.
It is 25 years. It'll be 2024. 25 years. Hard to believe.
Yeah. That's exciting. We want that excitement to be. We're building momentum. There's so many things we have planned.
Yes.
But I'll tell you, the prices are going to start raising $100 each week or every 2 weeks, depending on our schedule. And so,
don't wait.
Right now,
we're going to have a headquarter hotel. And you don't have to stay there, but that's where a lot of, we're going to identify one kind of place that we can gather that has even if you're not staying there, there's a nice place to hang out area, and also get a nice price on that, whether it's through IMC or through other connections, like Amy has travel people she knows. So we'll get a package that's affordable for people for staying there. And, don't wait to book, because the longer you wait, the prices go up, et cetera. But we definitely wanted to do West Coast, East Coast-ish, 2 events. Vegas, Atlanta. Atlanta's very easy to get into for people from Europe. One direct flight coming in, no connections, hopefully. So we're just doing our best to hear what you guys said about, where do you want to have the conference? Because being flexible, offering different opportunities, and so it's going to be fun. And I really appreciate both of you listening.
We are listening, and we're open. We're not closed-minded. We are open to those changes, because, like I said earlier, if you're not changing, you're not growing, and we are in a season of growth.
Yes, absolutely. And speaking of the talk show that we're going to wrap up here, you have an if you would want to host the show, I don't have to be doing it every week. And in fact, it would be great if other people wanted to step in. I know Amy wants to do guest hosting. I've had Kevin Tain in the past do guest hosting. So if you would like to set up a show and have interviews and so forth, or I would love that. And so you can either just email me or Amy. There's actually an application on the site you can put in there, but different faces, get different people on there, highlight vendors and so forth. So whatever, and it can be any topic related to your heart, that relates to the business success and staging.
And that adds to your PR, right, Robin? You can share it on your page. Like, I hosted the Homestager Staging Talk Show.
Podcasts are a great SEO vehicle.
Absolutely.
Well, I appreciate you being on. I appreciate, Amy, your creativity, so we could hear Robin. So, and I know.
There's no way Robin was not going to talk today.
That was unreal. Glad I could finally join you guys.
I know, me too. I appreciate it. Appreciate your time. Thanks everybody for tuning in. This was being broadcast on our Homestaging Talk Show page, group, and on our YouTube channel. So you can find it there. And then we also have it up on our website, thehomestagingtalk.com. So you can find all the past segments on there on YouTube. And we'll be posting this video on other pages and groups today as soon as it's downloaded. So thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be back with another show with you soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.